Alright guys, so we're on another call, and this is a murder mystery about what happened to this 2-ton hoist. So the allegations are that somebody managed to get this wheel on this A-frame hoist 4 feet in the air. Yes, some of the things that happens in manufacturing never ceases to amaze me. And ever since that incident, this wheel here has been walking out over the length of the travel. The first thing I came to check is every piece of hardware and every weld joint to make sure that nothing has split or cracked. The next thing I'll be looking at is if this I-beam got bowed or twisted when this thing pretzeled up. Since this hoist was installed and squared against the building's expansion joint, I'll be using the same expansion joints to challenge that I-beam to see if it's bent. So this hoist only travels over the course of 4 expansion joints. And at expansion joint number 1, the hoist footing is perfectly aligned. So I took the distance of the front and back wheel at the first expansion joint, and we had 222 inches and a half on each. So that tells me that at the first expansion joint, we're perfectly square. So on expansion joint number 2, our guide wheel is perfectly aligned with the joint, but the other side is starting to grow a gap against the joint. And again, by measuring the distance between the front and the back wheel on expansion joint number 2, we got 225.75 on our front wheel and 223.75 on our back wheel on expansion joint number 2. Now we're on expansion joint number 3, and we're perfectly lined up on the guide side, and on the free side we are growing in distance on our expansion joint. And by measuring the distance on the front and back wheel on expansion joint number 3, on the front wheel we're at 227.25 and the rear wheel at 225.75. So I did the same thing on expansion joint number 4, and we remained the same, 227.25 and 226. So now we ran the hoist back from expansion joint number 4 back to number 1 to see if everything lined up, and the hoist went back to the perfect alignment with the expansion joint number 1. So that leads me to believe that the I-beam is not bent, because if that I-beam was bent, that same gap would have carried over on every expansion joint. So that leads me to believe that the only issue is that this front drive side wheel keeps wanting to walk outward. So that leads me to believe that it's not an issue with the I-beam being bent, and that it could just be an issue of alignment with these alignment plates. I also noticed that this drive plate is a little bit off. We have a difference of about a 1/4 inch gap from the right side to the left side. So I got this drive side slightly jacked up, and I'm going to realign this plate. After several attempts of alignment, I think we finally got it. And now this drive plate is completely aligned, squared. So now we'll have a third-party inspector come in and certify this, or make any further changes if needed. A lot went into this repair that didn't go on camera. So stay tuned for the long-form videos that will carry all the details. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe out there.